My sister told me that I don't sound like a real wife and a mother because I do not struggle 24/7 like her. She was livid when I called her jealous and bitter. I gave birth to my daughter nearly 5 months ago. My sister Jenny has 3 kids with her husband. Before I gave birth, Jenny gave me several warnings about postpartum depression and how hard the baby would be on my marriage. I took all the advice she gave me, but, thankfully, my experience hasn't been as horrible as she warned. I'm fortunate and privileged in my situation, and I acknowledge that. I married a man who comes from a culture where women are doted on and not allowed to take on any chores outside of the baby within the first year postpartum. For the first 2 months, I only looked after our daughter. My husband and his family took care of everything else. He took the first 2 months off from work and was home with me the entire time. We've bonded in a way I could never imagine. It's made us closer and made me love him 1,000 times more, seeing how much he loves being a dad and how excited he is to be involved in everything. My husband's family would also cook us fresh meals every day for the first 2 months. They say that's what's expected in their culture, and a woman who has just given birth should be taken care of. They would also come over and, with my husband, clean the whole house, do laundry, and meal prep. It makes me emotional just thinking of how much they've done for us and how beautiful my experience in motherhood has been so far. My daughter is also a very easy baby, so I'm blessed all around. Jenny lives in another country, but she would call and check up on me because she was worried I'd have a challenging time like she did. At first, when I told her that my husband had taken time off work and that he had been doing all the cleaning and chores, and his family had been cooking for us, she was shocked and said how lucky I was. I agreed. As time goes by, though, she's been making shady comments. I would ignore them and change the subject, but she got my nerves yesterday. My husband went on a business trip for a few days and was returning last night. I was making dinner for him when she called, and I said I was making dinner and his favorite dessert because I missed him. She chuckled and said, "Normal women call that just being a mother and a wife, but it's just a fun activity for you." She said it in such a rude tone that I had to ask what that meant. She said I'm so out of touch with reality that I can say something as ridiculous as I'm making my husband dinner because I missed him and not because our family needs to eat. I said she's making a big deal out of nothing. I cook most days. I told her she knew my in-laws cooked for the first 2 months, and they don't anymore. So who does she think has been cooking? She said that sometimes when she calls, I mention that my husband has made dinner, so it's not me who does it. I said yes, he makes dinner sometimes because he's also part of this family, but I do it 90% of the time. He likes making us recipes he sees online, so what exactly is the problem? She said I've been babied since my daughter was born, and it drains her talking to me because I don't sound like a real mother and wife with how easy I've gotten it. I lost my head after this comment. I told her that not struggling 24/7 doesn't mean I'm less of a mother than she is. I care for my baby, and yes, my husband helps a lot, but that's his duty as a father. I said she sounded jealous and bitter and that I was not going to apologize for not struggling as much as she did and cut the call. I don't regret it because she was very rude to me, too, but she ranted to our brother, and he told me I was being too harsh instead of understanding why seeing me live an easier life than her would be hard on her. He suggested I reach out to her to fix it, but I don't want to. Am I the asshole?